Did you know a teacher once kept 200 students in school while his country's money became worthless? This is Zephaniah Dlamini's incredible story. Zimbabwe, 2008. Inflation hits 231 million%. A loaf of bread costs billions of dollars. Zephaniah earns $1 a month as a rural teacher. But he refuses to give up. Every week he walks 40 miles to trade soap for cornmeal. Paper becomes too expensive, so he teaches using charcoal and tree bark. He creates a secret network with other teachers. They trade livestock instead of money. Student fees get buried in jars to protect them from daily price changes. While the economy collapses around him, Zephaniah keeps his school alive through pure determination. His underground bartering system feeds families. His makeshift classrooms give children hope. Today, Zephaniah runs schools in South Africa for Zimbabwean refugee children. The teacher who saved 200 students during his country's darkest hour continues changing lives. Sometimes survival isn't just about staying alive. It's about keeping dreams alive, too. One woman survived not one, not two, but three of the most famous ship disasters in history. Meet Violet Jessop, a stewardess who seemed to attract maritime catastrophe like a magnet. First came 1911. The Olympic crashes into a warship. Violet walks away unharmed. Then 1912. The unsinkable Titanic hits an iceberg. As the massive ship tilts into the icy Atlantic, Violet helps terrified passengers into lifeboats. She spends 8 freezing hours in a lifeboat, clutching a baby to keep it alive. From that night forward, she never sailed without warm clothes. But fate wasn't done with her yet. 1916. The Britannic explodes in the Mediterranean. Violet leaps from the sinking ship, nearly getting sucked into the spinning propellers. Death missed her by inches. 3 ships, 3 disasters, 3 miraculous escapes. Violet became the most superstitious sailor alive, carrying lucky charms and studying every safety procedure. She understood something others didn't. The ocean doesn't forgive twice. But somehow, it forgave her 3 times. 19-year-old girl survived 6 days buried alive during one of history's deadliest bombings? In February 1945, Margot Hiller was just a nursing student when Allied bombs turned Dresden into a raging inferno. As the firestorm reached 1,500 degrees, she found herself trapped beneath a collapsed restaurant with 3 complete strangers. Their wine cellar became both sanctuary and prison. When water pipes burst, they rationed wine to survive. Using broken bottles as tools, they desperately clawed through debris. As oxygen ran low, they burned furniture legs to create makeshift air shafts. They took shifts staying awake, monitoring each breath. Pickled vegetables became their lifeline while the city burned above them. Smoke filled their lungs. Hope faded with each passing hour. By day 6, they had nearly given up. Then, a miracle. Rescue workers heard their weak tapping through the rubble. Margot emerged from her underground tomb forever changed but alive. Sometimes survival isn't about strength. It's about refusing to let go when everything seems lost. A 14-year-old girl once walked 2,000 miles through war zones to save her little brother's life. In 1982, Gabriela Lopez watched soldiers burn her village in Guatemala. Her parents were gone. Her world was ash. But her grandmother's voice echoed in her mind. "Survive, mija! Protect your brother!" For 3 months, Gabriela became a ghost. She moved only at night, avoiding army checkpoints that meant death. She picked coffee beans for scraps of food. She learned Spanish to blend in with Mexican workers. When rivers blocked their path, she followed animal trails to find safe crossings. They slept in caves and abandoned buildings. Gabriela's hands bled from work, but she never stopped. At the Rio Grande, she hid under a truck bed with her brother, hearts pounding as they crossed into Texas. Today, Gabriela runs a nonprofit helping other refugees make that same impossible journey. She knows every dangerous mile, every hiding spot, every moment of hope that keeps you walking when your body wants to quit. Because sometimes, love makes you stronger than fear. During the deadliest migration in human history, one train conductor saved over 1,000 lives using nothing but his wits and courage. 1947, the partition of India. 15 million people forced to flee their homes. Religious violence erupted at every train station. Hindus, Muslims, and Sikhs turned against each other in brutal massacres. Ghulam Ahmad Khan was just a train conductor on the Delhi-Lahore route. But when he saw families being slaughtered simply for their faith, he knew he had to act. Khan built secret compartments inside freight cars. He created coded signals with station masters who shared his mission. He mixed Hindu, Muslim, and Sikh families together in the same train cars, making it impossible for attackers to target specific groups. When angry mobs surrounded his trains, Khan would step off alone and negotiate face-to-face with the killers. For 3 months he dodged bullets, outsmarted extremists, and transported desperate families across the new border. One man, one train. 1,000 lives saved through pure determination and an unbreakable moral compass. A man survived 21 days in the open ocean using only a styrofoam box. This is the incredible story of Rodolfo Navarro. When Super Typhoon Haiyan hit the Philippines in 2013, winds of 195 miles per hour destroyed everything in their path. Rodolfo's fishing boat was torn apart near Tacloban. As the vessel sank, he grabbed the only thing floating, a styrofoam fish cooler. For 3 weeks, he fought to stay alive. He collected rainwater in his shirt to drink. He pulled threads from his clothes to catch a tiny fish. When hunger became unbearable, he used his wedding ring to scrape algae off the styrofoam and ate it. Dehydration brought terrifying hallucinations. He talked to photos of his family kept in a waterproof pouch, reciting prayers to stay sane. Then on day 21, dolphins appeared. Following his instincts, he followed them toward land. A Japanese cargo ship spotted him and pulled him aboard. Meanwhile, his wife had survived by climbing a coconut tree during the storm surge. Their reunion was nothing short of miraculous. A 14-year-old girl once walked 1,400 miles across a deadly desert to escape genocide. In 1915, Aurora Mardiganian watched Turkish soldiers murder her entire family during the Armenian genocide, but this brave teenager refused to die. Aurora escaped a death march and began an impossible journey across the Syrian desert. To survive, she cut her hair and dressed like a boy to avoid being attacked. When food ran out, she ate grass and insects to stay alive. She followed animal tracks to find water and hid in caves when sandstorms hit. Slave traders captured Aurora multiple times, but she kept escaping. Each time, she found new ways to break free and continue walking toward safety. After months of walking through scorching heat and freezing nights, she finally reached American missionaries in Baghdad. But Aurora's story doesn't end there. In 1919, she starred in Hollywood's very first genocide film, telling her incredible survival story to the world. She became both a survivor and the first person ever to document genocide on screen, making sure her family's story would never be forgotten. A 19-year-old student once escaped communist Hungary by hiding inside a coffin for 14 hours. In 1956, Andras Kovuch was just a university student when he joined the Budapest uprising against Soviet control. His uncle was Joseph Mindszenty, the famous cardinal who defied the communist regime. When Russian tanks crushed the revolution, Andras knew he faced certain death. The secret police were hunting down every rebel. Desperate, he hatched an impossible plan. He bribed a funeral director to hide him in a specially modified coffin with secret air holes and breathing tubes. As the fake funeral procession approached the Austrian border, Andras lay motionless in complete darkness. His heart pounded as Russian guards stopped the hearse twice, searching for escapees. For 14 terrifying hours, he breathed through hidden tubes while soldiers walked just inches above his head. The plan worked. Andras made it to America, where he became a prominent anti-communist activist, but he didn't stop there. Using the same coffin method, he helped orchestrate dramatic escapes for 200 other Hungarian refugees during the Iron Curtain era. Mother once saved her 4 children using nothing but a refrigerator door and pure determination. In 1979, Nguyen Thi Minh faced an impossible choice. Stay in Vietnam after Saigon fell or risk everything for freedom. She chose her children's future. For 3 months, she worked in secret, collecting plastic bottles, waterproofing an old refrigerator door with tarred and fabric, turning bed sheets into a sail, learning ocean currents from local fishermen who had no idea why she asked so many questions. Then came the terrifying part. 18 days on the South China Sea with 4 scared children. They survived on rainwater caught in bottles and single handfuls of rice split 5 ways. When sharks circled their makeshift boat, Min fought them off with wooden planks. At night, she navigated by stars, using skills her fisherman father had taught her years before. Just hours before their refrigerator boat would have fallen apart completely, a Malaysian fishing vessel spotted them. All 5 survived. Today, every one of her children became engineers and doctors. Sometimes the most desperate plans create the most incredible futures. A Polish officer once volunteered to get arrested by the Nazis just to break into Auschwitz. This is the incredible true story of Witold Pilecki. In 1940, while most people tried to escape the Nazis, Pilecki did the opposite. He walked straight into a German roundup in Warsaw, letting himself get captured. His mission? Get inside Auschwitz and expose what was really happening. For 3 years, Pilecki lived as prisoner number 4859, but he wasn't just surviving. He was building a secret network. He organized resistance groups, smuggled out intelligence reports, and planned escape routes. He hid messages in dirty laundry and coordinated with the underground outside. His reports contained the first detailed evidence of Nazi genocide, mass killings, gas chambers, the truth about the Holocaust. But when these reports reached Allied leaders, they didn't believe them. They thought it was just propaganda. too extreme to be real. In 1943, during a bakery work detail, Pilecki finally made his dramatic escape. His mission was complete, but the world still wasn't ready to hear the truth. A 10-year-old girl survived one of history's worst genocides by pretending she couldn't speak. In 1979, Chanrithi Him watched the Khmer Rouge murder her father and 4 siblings. Her educated family was a target. To survive, she made herself mute. For 2 years, this child wandered war-torn Cambodia alone. She slept in muddy rice paddies, hiding from deadly patrols. When hunger struck, she ate grass and tree bark. She joined groups of orphan children, all searching for safety. Chanrithi learned to read people's voices. Different dialects meant different dangers. Some villagers would help. Others would turn her in. Finally, she reached the Mekong River. Using banana trees, she built a small raft and floated toward the Thai border. Freedom was just across the water. But refugee camps brought new horrors. Disease and starvation killed children every day. Chanrithi watched friends die in her arms. Then American sponsors chose her. They gave her a new life, a new chance. Today she helps other refugees rebuild their lives, just like hers was rebuilt. Sometimes the smallest voices carry the biggest stories. The world's most famous gymnast once crawled under electric fences to escape death. This is Nadia Comaneci's impossible escape from communist Romania, December 1989. The Olympic champion who scored the first perfect 10 was trapped. After her gymnastics career ended, the secret police watched her every move. Romania's brutal dictator Nicolae Ceausescu controlled everything, but Nadia had a plan. On a freezing winter night, she slipped into the darkness. For 6 terrifying hours she hiked through frozen forests. Border guards hunted her with dogs and guns. She crawled under electrified fences that could kill her instantly. Ice-cold rivers soaked through her clothes as she waded across. Shots rang out behind her. The guards had spotted something. Nadia ran faster than she ever had, even in the Olympics. Her underground contacts guided her through the final stretch. Exhausted and nearly frozen to death, she collapsed in a Hungarian barn. She was free. Just weeks later, Ceausescu's regime crumbled. Nadia's daring escape had helped expose the truth about Romania's nightmare to the world. Hutu woman saved 100 lives by hiding them beneath her floorboards for 100 days. Rose Mapendo lived in a world torn apart. The year was 1994. Rwanda was burning. Her neighbors were being hunted. Her crime, being Tutsi. But Rose had a plan. She dug tunnels connecting house to house. Bamboo pipes became breathing tubes. 100 people disappeared into the earth beneath her home. Every morning, militias walked above their heads. Rosie would brew banana beer, offering drinks to the killers searching for victims. Her smile never wavered. Her hands never shook. Babies couldn't cry. Footsteps had to be silent. One sound meant death for everyone. For 100 days, Rosa played this deadly game. She rotated food. She created hand signals. She kept hope alive in the darkness below. When UN peacekeepers finally arrived, 100 souls emerged from the earth. 100 families saw sunlight again. 1 woman, 1 house, 100 lives saved. Rose Mapendo proved that even in humanity's darkest hour, courage can hide in the most unexpected places. A single social worker saved more children than Schindler, yet almost no one knew her name. Meet Irina Sendler. In 1942 Warsaw, she walked into the Jewish ghetto carrying official papers. The guards thought she was checking for disease, but Irina had a different mission. She was smuggling children out, babies hidden in coffins, toddlers stuffed in suitcases, children crawling through sewage pipes in the dead of a night. Irina used every trick she could imagine, but saving them was only half the battle. She wrote each child's real name on tissue paper and buried the lists in glass jars. When the war ended, families could find each other again. In 1943, the Gestapo caught her. They tortured her until her legs and feet were broken, but the Polish resistance broke her out of prison. Irina spent the rest of the war in hiding. She had saved 2,500 Jewish children, yet her story stayed buried for 50 years. Only when she turned 90 did the world finally learn about the woman who risked everything. Did you know a teacher once kept 200 students in school while his country's money became worthless? This is Zephaniah Dlamini's incredible story. Zimbabwe, 2008. Inflation hits 231 million%. A loaf of bread costs billions of dollars. Zephaniah earns $1 a month as a rural teacher. But he refuses to give up. Every week he walks 40 miles to trade soap for cornmeal. A paper becomes too expensive, so he teaches using charcoal and tree bark. He creates a secret network with other teachers. They trade livestock instead of money. Student fees get buried in jars to protect them from daily price changes. While the economy collapses around him, Zephaniah keeps his school alive through pure determination. His underground bartering system feeds families. His makeshift classrooms give children hope. Today, Zephaniah runs schools in South Africa for Zimbabwean refugee children. The teacher who saved 200 students during his country's darkest hour continues changing lives. Sometimes survival isn't just about staying alive. It's about keeping dreams alive, too.